Hi guys, this is Dan from Magic Pachinko Restorations with another short video on a vintage pachinko machine. We are closing in on 600 subscribers. That's great. So please, if you like watching these videos, click on the subscribe button below. That way you'll get a notification every time I put up a new video, whether it's for a customer's machine or an instructional video. Thumbs up, like those, and certainly the comments and questions. Love to get the comments and questions. I try to respond to them as quickly as possible. Again, check your spam folders, check your phone for a 585 number. I'm going to get back to you as quickly as I can if you ask a question or leave a comment that I want to respond to. Okay, so before I show you the machine, I always typically learn something new when I work on pachinkos, and that was the case with this particular one. This is a Nishijin. It's a Model C, and it had micro switches on it rather than the leaf switches. The newer ones obviously had the micro switches. Now, micro switches come in a whole variety, but essentially a micro switch is simply a little piece of plastic with some wire connectors on it. When the button goes down, it either opens the connection or closes the connection, depending on the application. So there are a number of different micro switches. This is a pretty simple one. It just has the button here. There's no arm. This one has an arm with a roller. Most of the arms, most of the time, just don't have a roller on them. They just have an arm, different lengths. And also, what you need to be aware of if you're going to be trying to replace micro switches on your machines is the amount of force required to push down that little button to make the connection. This one's pretty stiff. This one's very stiff. Most of the micro switches that Nishijin used were very, very light touch to get the connection made. I ran into it on a power flash where I had to replace the micro switches, and they were the push was too much for the pachinko ball to activate. So I finally figured out that I had to get a lighter touch to the micro switch. So one thing that I found out, and I'll show you where it is on this machine when we get to it, is there was a micro switch in there that had been knocked out of place and was kind of mangled up. And I thought it was an interference problem inside, but I finally realized that this particular micro switch has a long arm on it. And when I would just go like that, you could tell the button was easy, but the movement of the arm was horrible. So I kept looking at it, and I thought, boy, it's just kind of bent. So this is a typical Nishijin micro switch. I've taken it apart, and the nice thing about it is you see the three little yellow tabs. They go on this way, so they're on the back side, and you can just push them apart with a little probe. And then inside that switch, this is where it makes the contact right in here. So I'll try doing this. If I push on that button, I think you can see the contact being made. Very light push. And this arm fits right in there like that. So it just, when this gets pushed down, it activates the switch. So what I ended up doing on that particular micro switch is I took it apart and I reformed this arm so that it was at a nice crisp 90-degree angle, and then it worked perfectly. So again, you learn something every day. At least I try to, and that was what I learned today. So let's, this is another thing I use all the time. This is just simply a cleaning fluid for electronic parts. I always spray the micro switches, and it just cleans them out. Okay, so this is a 1978 Nishijin Model C. We did a complete restoration on this with the play field, the new cherry feet, all the wood, everything taken care of like I normally do. This one was exceptionally dirty when I got it. Had been fortunately in a relatively dry area, but a very dusty, dirty area, and I probably found more dead spiders in this thing than I ever have. And I actually took a cover off when I was cleaning the guts out, and there was a live spider in there. He wasn't too lively because it's kind of cold, but It's 26 out and 40 degrees in the garage with the heaters that I've got going. So that's what she looks like. Put the new stickers on the tulips. The rest of this was in nice shape, but we did put a new playfield on it. The playfield was pretty dirty. So we'll turn this around and show you what the Model C looks like. They call this a Model C because of the C shape. This kind of combines a lot of features from a Model A. Up here is a jackpot chamber like a Model A. And I don't think you can see it, but back in here is a brass piece with 2 fingers. And right now it's set for 15, but they could take that out and put in a 13 or an 11 on the Model Cs. So you can see some of the internal pathways in here, which is kind of neat. And your seesaw chamber is still down in this area. It's set up a little bit different than a Model B. The launch mechanism is all one piece, which is kind of nice. It just comes out and clean it and put it right back in. So it cleaned up pretty nice. So when you get ready to do this one, the ball dump is over here. It's this lever right here, this up and down lever, which rides off of this from the outside. And when you push down on this, if there's balls in here, it pushes this over. This piece right here pushes over and allows the balls to come out. So when you first set this up, you want to make sure that this piece can't move tip, because it's held in place right there. If it's like that, it can tip forward. Let me bring this in. Okay, you can see right in there, this is the area that I'm talking about right here. Make sure that that piece doesn't tip forward. Okay, so then your balls won't go all over the floor. Okay, so these load basically the same way. Let me plug the power supply in. We'll get the ball out light to come on. That's the ball out light. Again, orange and white. The yellow was only used in the parlors. So this is the way to power a Model C. They have a circuit board in here. The ball out light switch plugs into the circuit board, and the circuit board holds 2 lights for this attraction here and 1 bulb for this attraction here. So same operation, just a handful of balls to make sure they're running through the system. Once you know they're running through okay, you want to load this tray right up with all the balls that you have. Just keep a few to play with. You'll need a catch for here and here, and you want to make sure that your seesaw is in the upright, or this end is up, this end is down, and it's really easy to do on the Model Cs. It's right here. So this end gets pushed down, this end goes up. Make sure this is latched. Everything is set, ready to go. So we'll put those in the front. Now this particular machine has a glass front on it. I'll be taking this out to ship and keeping it. The customer has bought new glass panels for it. His preference and mine is glass rather than plexiglass. So now we have some balls in here. We'll give it a shot. And right away, we've got a win, and this is where your jackpot lights up. So this is not the easiest machine to win on, I found, but I'll show you a couple of things here. All the tulips are closed right now. When the ball goes in up here, if it goes straight through, it'll open this tulip. If it ends up coming over onto this side or that side, it'll open that tulip, this tulip, and if it goes through way up top, it'll go down and open either this one or this one. It just depends on which way the ball falls. So now we've got a couple of the tulips open. We'll run some more balls through it, and you can see it win. So that's the 1978 Nishijin Model C. Hope you like it.